Why does it say waiting?
Patience.
Offering?
Patience.
Oh,
You
is it
probably
just,
never set it to auto start.
no, I said just go.
Yeah, no, what Roland is talking about is a YouTube functionality that sometimes needs to
Why
be
does it
done,
say
but we're
waiting?
using but we're doing the actual, we're using the SDK. We're not using the actual.
Coming up now. It's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So it seems that the problem may have been, I wonder if I, when I scheduled, sorry, let me get out of this mess. So when I scheduled it in YouTube. Then in the app, I associated, I said, that's the one I want to go live to, the one that I had previously scheduled. Not in Zoom, not in the RTMP, but just in the Zoom app. That started, but it got hung up in the app. So it was streaming out beautifully to YouTube, but the app was not working. I refreshed the app. It said, do you want to stream? I said, I thought I was, but okay, I'm going to start streaming anyway. And it created a whole new stream, not connected to the first one. We killed all of those streams because there were 3 at one point, and now we've got one stream up, and I can see Mike's chat here.
So I have a problem.
I have many problems.
I'm on the Zoom Test Kitchen YouTube page, and what is here is the recording of the beginning part of the stream that you killed.
Right.
I don't see the current thing at all. I don't know where it is.
Refresh.
I did. That's how I got this thing.
Are you on /live for the URL?
You don't even.
No, I'm on the Zoom Test Kitchen YouTube, and no, it doesn't say /live.
So you shouldn't even need to be. It should come up here because I have the page set up so that live now is the first thing that should be at the very top.
Lois, what's probably happened within your browser is that it's cached right now. So what you need to do is either, again, I'm going to use Windows terminology. You would either do a shift refresh or a control refresh. And that will actually force it to actually get the latest one from the website.
I'm going to close that tab and try opening a new window and see if that helps. And I get the same thing.
David, is the key shortcuts that I was talking about for Mac the same?
I have no idea. I just do Control R, Command R rather.
Right. Okay, that's just refresh though.
That's just that's refresh.
There's nothing but refresh.
Yeah, if you go into there should be a clear cache in your settings somewhere, in your browser settings.
Shouldn't need to do that. It should be able to just be on our page.
Yeah, there is.
If you're recording to our page, then it should be here.
Yeah, I agree.
You are not unlisted. So that was a double negative. So let me say that again. You are not unlisted.
There should be. Yeah.
I've gone to my subscriptions and entered it that way. And there are 2 Zoom Test Kitchen 6/28/24 Reboot. That's interesting. Let's see if I can get into one of those.
Well, they're the same. The top one, let me see how I have the page set up.
It says there's one person watching it.
So live, there's a live now section.
That would be the one person watching, Lois.
Why
is I see this now, and
why let me here. So I see what this is. I think what she's seeing also, which is I don't really understand. So
I am now seeing the new one.
Right. So this right here is the live one. That's what we're on. I think the question is, what is this one?
It's the same thing, David.
No, I know it's the same thing, but if I go into like customized channel, the way I have this set up is live now, then upcoming live streams.
Yeah, YouTube by default adds that other one above it.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Oh, look at
So
that.
you
And
don't really need the live now section. I would actually get rid of that one on the actual main page.
really?
Yeah, it makes no sense because YouTube by default will actually put the live now. Anything once you're live, it actually so that's a feature that you don't have control over.
Huh. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Understood.
Yeah. Publish.
And now
But
it's
again,
for watching.
Let's refresh. Yeah, look at that. Huh. I
nicer,
didn't know
right?
that. I did not know that. So
Yeah, it's-
it'll automatically put whatever's live right there.
Yeah, just as a nice thing that YouTube is doing by default, so you don't
Yeah.
actually have to have a live now. It doesn't make any sense because they allow you to do the live now section, so they should never
Yeah,
have
why
that
would they?
functionality.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
Has anybody
Okay.
else run into that? I don't know. As far as I know, that is way it is. It is.
Well, my theory is, YouTube is like Zoom. So many different customers have so many different ways they want things done that they accommodate everybody.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. You could put the live now section lower down on the page. You're right. I can too. Okay. I mean, this really is. I'll just say that it's now we're half an hour in, and we're all pretty good at this. That was a bit of a disaster. If you're streaming, and again, I will if it was user error on my part, I'll own it. But it shouldn't be that difficult to stream something, share the link with folks.
So what this implies to me is that anyone who's going to stream should try it out a day or two before the live streaming that they want to do, so that when people come to our YouTube page, they get what they expect.
Yes, yeah, 100%, Lois. And on top of that too, I would even say even a couple days, do it a couple days before an event and a couple hours. Reason I say a couple hours is you never know what YouTube is going to do that day that you're doing that event that they've changed in the background.
Roland is saying, and this is interesting, Roland, I don't know if you're able to unmute, but I'd actually love to hear your thoughts on this. He says, I avoid using the integrated approach. I assume that you mean the Zoom app approach.
Right.
The basic
what-
RTMP push or HLS push, you're in better control. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, basically because I see the same issues, like I've seen the same issue like what you encountered, where you have set it up before and you tell the app to you're going to stream to that. When you start to stream, there's an issue. A stream actually starts, but in Zoom and I've seen it, I think, with Facebook, it doesn't start, and then you try and push it again, not Facebook, with Restream. I've seen the same thing with Restream. And you push it again, and then it creates, because it fails, it creates another key, because it has direct connection to YouTube. It creates another key and starts another stream, not realizing that the stream that you have asked it to push to is already there. So after a couple of failure issues with it like that, I've just avoided it totally and just push, and I know I'm in control and I can watch it. So I don't have to depend on if there is an issue. And so I've seen it a few times, so I've just avoided it.
Interesting. What is HLS, Roland?
Well, YouTube has introduced new ways in which you can ingest. So one of them is you can actually send an HLS push now, so you can do that straight. And of course, they've also added the HEVC codec, so you can actually use that codec now. And also if you notice, I think you have fixed it now where you're using a couple weeks ago you were still using the regular RTMP. You can use the
Yes.
RTMP. That one
Yeah.
has been around for a while. So it's just a different way. And of course, for some you beta users now, they now have SRT available where
Right.
you can use SRT and push.
Right.
So
HLS stands for, thank you, Frank, stands for HTTP live streaming. Thank you.
Correct. Yeah, that's Apple's protocol. When Apple wanted to have more live streaming on their equipment, aka their phones, years ago, they actually came up with the HLS protocol so that they can get away from Adobe's protocol, which was the popular protocol at the time because they were not very happy with Adobe. So they did not want to play nice with Adobe. So basically the HLS protocol ended up getting started. And again, from my content delivery network world, of course, that means we had to set up all brand new servers and such because the old servers could only handle Adobe, but the new servers could handle HLS, and we had to run different server software in the background to be able to handle the new HLS protocol that Apple came up with.
Gotcha. But in Zoom, the only option we have is RTMP, as I understand it.
Correct. Yes, and I've actually, and Ray knows this because I've actually talked to Josh in the Zoom events weekly, Ray, is that weekly or biweekly? The Zoom events.
It's weekly. The Zoom events open office hours at 8:15 California time,
Right.
Wednesdays.
Yeah. So I've actually mentioned to Josh that they should actually be looking into SRT because that is where everybody's moving to. Everybody's going to be dropping RTMP basically as soon as possible. There's a reason that YouTube is now, beta testing it. So, and on top of that too, now there's a reason that the latest version of the ATEM software that got pushed all to the ATEM Mini Pro or any of the encoder ATEM products now have the SRT protocol built into them now. So you can actually stream out at SRT. It's much more reliable.
Does that require different hardware?
It does not.
Oh.
Not necessarily will be my official answer. In most situations, it would be done at the software level if you can't handle it at the hardware level.
No, hey, I can handle it. I was just asking.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
it right now
Pushy.
to send it's pretty easy. Even OBS has its support for it. OBS Wirecards. vMix, I think Mike has support for it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Everybody, a lot of the big, David, you would have to let us know if VCam actually has SRT streaming in it or not. But yeah, the vMixes of the world, the Wirecasts, OBSs definitely have SRT already built in.
And some of the
for months.
smaller, cheap encoders you see on Amazon, hardware encoders, also have the ability to send.
How do I
Yeah.
even find out if I have SRT?
It would be in your streaming section where you're streaming out. So where you choose your YouTube, where you're sending directly from eCam to YouTube.
Yeah, destinations.
Yeah. And then it should be able to be a selectable of what protocol would you like? RTMP, SRT.
No, it just gives me all the.
RTSP.
Oh, I see RTMP. Hold on a second. Additional destinations. No. So
Okay,
I've got
they
Facebook,
might have-
YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitch, Amazon Live, Instagram Live, RTMP, Restream, Switchboard, and OneStream.
Okay, so
So that RTMP is really like the custom RTMP that Zoom has. Like if
Exactly,
you don't
yeah.
really know any of these things, but it's got to go somewhere and they've given you those keys, you
Right.
can plug those in. It'll go where it needs to go.
Oh. Wait, look at this, guys. So now I'm sorry. So look at my YouTube app.
Uncaught runtime errors. The string did not match the expected pattern. David, how could you?
I feel terrible.
which string is incompatible, David? Tell us.
I don't know, but wait, am I still live?
So David, you should be doing a screenshot and then you can send it to.
That came
Zoom.
through.
Huh. I'm not going to send it to
Yeah.
them because, like I said, there's a nice little update coming. So hopefully,
So we hope that this is fixed, right?
yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably a little bug.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard that, Roland. Predictable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's yeah.
You're
Yeah.
officially still live, David. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
I think it's just the way that the app that you're actually using is speaking to YouTube, and thus the string. And again, Ray and I know from their development world, what that means is basically the information that Zoom is sending to YouTube. It wasn't very thrilled with it,
Nope.
which probably meant that YouTube has probably updated its SDK, and Zoom has not yet.
You know,
For a
part of
certain
the
variable.
sorry, I was just going to say that I don't know this from Zoom. I know this just on the Ecamm side that people complain all the time about trouble streaming to Facebook, trouble streaming to YouTube, and because our interface to those platforms is Ecamm or Mimo Live or vMix or whatever, or Zoom for that matter, we assume that the problem is with the tool that we're using, not with the destination. And 9 times, especially with Facebook, it's just a disaster. They're constantly changing things, and the apps, maybe they just can't keep up. I don't know.
Well, and there's so
Correct.
many points of failure, David. There's the originating point, which for us is Zoom. There's the destination point, which is YouTube. There's the protocol, the encoder that goes between the two that takes what Zoom produces in and then spits out RTMP or SRT or whatever, and version compatibilities and incompatibilities at each of those interjection points. It's a wonder that we get anything done at all.
And going back
Right.
to Roland's point as well, where if you are actually using the actual RTMP, custom RTMP that Ecamm does give you, David, in there, 9 times out of 10, that's the safest. Why? Because you actually have to go at that particular point to YouTube, Facebook, etc., get the actual specific information of the server, stream key, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So 9 times out of 10, if all else fails, custom RTMP. And eventually custom SRT.
Right, but then you don't get the app, the chat rather. You don't get the chat.
Correct. Because now you are not using their SDK
You know what else I've
or
never
their
done?
APIs.
You know what else I haven't done? And again, this is I've never gone live to YouTube from within Zoom directly. So when you let me pull this down here so folks can see. My window's getting very busy. I apologize. Let me do this.
Do you need us to send you a window cleaner, David?
Yeah, something like that, because it's all right. So, boom. Okay, so when I go into more, now I can't do it now, but this says start live stream, and then when you click that, you get another side panel here that says, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to YouTube? Do you want to go to Facebook? And then the last one is RTMP. I could presume, I've never chosen go directly to YouTube because my assumption has been, and you'll tell me if I'm wrong about this, that in order to connect the stream to one that I've scheduled on YouTube, I need to use RTMP.
Not
That if I click the
necessarily.
YouTube
Not
button,
necessarily.
not necessarily.
Yeah, I agree with Roland. Not necessarily. What that means is that you need, again, depending on how it's been set up, like when you actually did do the scheduling on YouTube, will depend on if you're doing a recurring key or not. Roland?
Persistent key.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
correct. That's correct.
Yeah, the persistent key or not. If you're using a persistent key, good. If you're regenerating the stream key for every new event, bad. Then you do need then you need to copy that stream key every time.
Right. So here's let me walk everyone through actually what what I do, because this is, I don't know if anyone else cares about this, but this is helpful for me when it comes to,
David, just make sure when you do the stream key stuff to blurt it out of sorts.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
You don't want
Well, it's actually, yeah, I won't even go that far. So,
or just regenerate it when you're done.
yeah. Okay. So here I am. I'm in my account here. I'm going to go to YouTube Studio. And this is not what I usually do. Sorry, I don't usually do that. I just go up to create
Right.
and then go live.
Right.
Right. And now this is saying that I'm already live. So then I click on schedule stream. And this is what happens. So it says, hey, do you want to use the same information from the last time? I just click reuse settings.
That's fine.
Right. And then I put the information in, upload the thumbnail, and then click next and click OK.
That's fine.
So if I schedule it that way, then what you're saying is that if I click not in the app, which by the way, not in the app, but just in that drop down, if I choose YouTube instead of RTP, will Zoom say, hey, did you mean to go to this one that you had scheduled?
It's been a while since I've done it, but I think the real question is, will it just try to go through whatever's in there? And if there's something on the other end, it'll go great. And if there's not something on the other end, it'll go, I can't reach whatever it is you're trying to get to.
Okay.
I think that's the function that you get when you say, I want to go to Facebook or directly to YouTube or whatever the other options are other than RTMP.
Yeah.
Is you fed us some data, we're going to figure out, is everything okay?
Yeah, David, in theory, basically what should happen is when you connect, the SDK call that the Zoom app is doing to YouTube should come back and say, okay, I see that you have that, and it should give you a list, and then you
Gotcha.
should be able to just go, and then all of a
Right.
sudden it should go.
Right. And that's what happened in the app. I wasn't sure if that would happen natively in Zoom. So why do you imagine they broke live streaming out into an app? They already have it built into Zoom. Why didn't they just, I mean,
Because the build into Zoom just streams. It doesn't go get a whole bunch of extra APIs where I think the app does the other API things for you to get the chat and so forth.
right, but if they're building the app, this is a Zoom app, Zoom built it. If they're building the app anyway, why not just build it right into Zoom?
It complicates the Zoom app where you can sort of make that an outside interface. It's much more easy to kind of keep up with the changes as they happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and on top of that too,
Zoom's philosophy.
David, it would depend on the audience, right? Again,
Exactly.
we're the geeks
edge case,
in
yeah.
that regards. Yeah.
The average person won't be doing that.
Yeah, the average person just says
Zoom user won't
YouTube
be
go.
doing
Yeah. I have a timer. Why is there,
Frank's playing.
did I do that?
That
Who
was me,
started
sir.
a timer? Oh,
I
you
did.
started a timer. Am I boring you, or is this like a countdown? Is what?
It's a Zoom app. You were talking about Zoom apps. I was just playing with it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh, I forgot I was in demo mode. You know why? No, I'm asking because I saw it pop up in my. It's not really there. Like it's.
I killed it when you called me out.
Oh no, you didn't have to kill it. It showed up in the top menu bar, then it went away, then it came back.
But
Wasn't
I only
entirely-
saw the timer circle on Frank's video, which is
Yeah.
kind of the normal.
I was just playing. Sorry.
What are you apologizing? We're trying to. This is good. This is very good. Interesting. Okay. Well, thank you all for indulging me. I don't really stream from directly from Zoom much.
David, was this in any of the release notes, or is this a little birdie told you?
This is a little birdie told me, and Yeah, we'll be able to play with it next week. I don't really have much. It's not like I have some great secrets that I'm not telling. I just know that there's a drop coming on Monday, and we'll see what happens.
Is it just to the app in the marketplace, or is it something inside the Zoom app?
No, it's to the marketplace, to the
Okay.
Zoom app in the marketplace. Yep. By the way, if anyone cares, I figured out how to bring meetings into in here. So now Hasmuk isn't the only cool kid. Now I'm the cool kid too. I was very proud
I
of
want to know
myself.
how to do that.
So it's so these are called WLM meters. So you run them on. I'm
I
running it
have them.
on-
I just haven't been able to figure out how to set them up.
Yeah. So
Talk
it
to me.
took me until today to figure it out. So for anyone who's interested, let me put this back so I can show you. Come to the front. Bear with me a moment. Turn that off and do this. So this is
David, while you're showing, make sure to do, thank you.
I'm getting there. This is what is this called again? This is called Audio Hijack. And then you can get what's called WLM meters as a plugin, I guess. So I have that here. So the way Audio Hijack works is you start with an input device, then you can add stuff after it. So my problem was I was adding apps. I was dragging this over and I was adding like Zoom or Ecamm for that matter. What I needed to do because of my particular audio setup was I had to not do that and just use the input device. So I have here, I have a Rodecaster Pro, and the particular channel that I wanted to hear is the channel that I use for Zoom, both in and out for Zoom. So once you have that, you just press start and it just goes, which is kind of magical, actually. I'm going to pin that and get rid of this again. And then again, in my workflow, it's just a matter of doing a screen grab and putting it up on screen. So I'm cool like Hasmuk.
You're
David,
super cool.
Could you actually do a window grab instead of a screen grab, David?
Oh, yeah, it is yes, it is. That's what it is for all intents and purposes. Sorry. In Ecamm, there's just a screen share overlay. And then within that, you can choose, I want to do this app and this window of this app, or I want to do the whole desktop, and then you can crop it in. But it's all the same stuff. So.
Just one point.
Uh-oh.
If you
Proving
do a
Asmic is still cool.
Yeah, he wins.
if you do a app grab, there's a latency issue with the meters. It's not as responsive. So if you do a screen grab, we've been forced to do screen grab because then the meters respond very differently. And that's a la Mickey's diagnosis.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating. All right, so hold on. So again, you can't see what I'm doing. So let me so this is my desktop. I'm just gonna so this is just a screen grab of the whole desktop. And now what I'll do is, instead of, what I could do is I can come over here and I can say, I want Audio Hijack, and then it'll crop into just that, and then I can get rid of this stuff. But what you're saying is, don't do that. Just do the screen, and then I'll just crop it in so that I only get the stuff that I want.
So I use Mimo Live to do the screen grab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be, I wonder if it's the same.
Well, there's more latency in Ecamm than there is in Mimo Live.
There is?
Well,
Why?
Well, firstly, there's a latency issue whether you do screen grab or app grab. And and it's the same behavior in OBS and Mimo Live. And so we ran it for quite a while. And then eventually, for the last 2 years, we just do a screen grab.
Why wasn't it just hearing you? Did you see that? It just
Yeah.
wasn't. It's hearing
Yeah,
me,
when
but
I
not
speak.
hearing you.
Yeah. Compare the meters on my side to yours. Look at the difference in response.
Hey, Tamara. Apparently, I didn't set it up correctly. So don't do what I did. Because
I'm taking other notes just in case.
it's not working. I broke it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be that
There's
that fancy
the
yet anyways. I'll come back. I'll come to
Tamara,
Hazmik.
Tamara, there's a video on the office hours website of how
Awesome.
to set up your
Oh, is there really?
your meters. Yes.
Awesome.
Well, that's fantastic. Actually, I
I'm
didn't
not
realize
quite
that.
there yet. I just have the stuff because I'm a collector.
What we do as well is we use loopback to set up the flow. So in loopback we have to go to USB 1 and 2, and then that's called Zoom OS, Zoom audio. Like you did, David, you use a app, the input. So the input in our case is defined in loopback.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid using loopback.
You don't have to. You don't have to. This is just I have to follow Mickey's regime.
Yeah.
That
Can
makes
someone,
perfect sense.
Tamara, talk for a second?
Okay, I'm talking for a second. I do have another question for you after we come up with this exciting.
Yeah. No, it's just reading me. It's not reading you guys at all.
There's no
Oh
love.
well. Oh well. All right, we can keep talking while I'm playing. Go ahead. What's your question?
So I got Ecamm and I'm starting to like it. But I'm looking at your little setup here, and you've got your productions, your tiles, you've got you. How are you entering this meeting in all of your devices? Because I have a million devices too, but I'm not sure how I want to set everything up.
So let me close this out. So for the test kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
I come in with vanilla Zoom, which is right here.
Got it.
And I'm just using, as I always have, the virtual camera and I'm not even using the virtual mic, the virtual camera into vanilla Zoom. That's all I'm doing.
So are you, sorry, just trying to work this out in my head. Because there's a lot of windows with this Ecamm situation. So you're using your vanilla Zoom client and you're turning Ecamm on and bringing and selecting in vanilla Zoom your Ecamm camera.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I never join a Zoom without Ecamm open.
Right.
They're
Okay.
inseparable. And 99% of the time now,
Mhm.
I don't even open the vanilla Zoom client. I just join all of my meetings from within Ecamm.
Right.
And incidentally, by the way, they just updated. They're keeping up. They're doing their best to keep up with the SDKs. So they just updated.
Got
They
it.
were already on 6.0. Now they're on. I don't know what the new 6.1 or something, whatever the new SDK was. But for the kitchen, I use the vanilla client, and part of the reason I do that is because there are some things that are not available still in the Ecamm client.
Got it.
I know that Zoom doesn't want me calling it a client, but for example, live streaming and the apps, Zoom apps are not right now. They're just not there for some reason. I don't know why.
Right.
So yeah, but this is kind of how my screen looks for every meeting I join.
And then your other computer is your OSC.
So I've got two other computers in this meeting.
That's what I wanted to know. I keep seeing lots of you.
Sure. So one is this guy right here,
Mhm.
which is this is OSC.
Okay.
So this Zoom OSC, and then the other one is, I wonder if it'll work. Let's see. Nope, didn't work. The other one is, I just have to tell it what to grab. Is this guy, capture desktop. And then come over here. Desktop, 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 desktop. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there it is. So mini local. The other one is this guy, which is Zoom Tiles.
Got it.
So I'm in this meeting 3 times.
I see. So
And
your
I
tiles
just
machine.
I don't join audio from the OSC or the Tiles machine.
Got it.
Yep.
So you have tiles on one machine, OSC on one machine, and then your Zoom on another machine.
Exactly.
And your eCam's on the machine that your Zoom is on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically from this one machine, from my main machine, I do one thing, which
Right.
is I join Zoom meetings through eCam. That's the only thing that happens on my streaming machine. And then on this other machine, which is also my content machine, I run OSC. And then on this old M1 Mac Mini, I just run Tiles.
Got it.
I don't even use Tiles in anything yet.
Yeah, I have it on its own little machine because I've got one use case scenario for it, but not quite there yet.
Right.
To play around with it.
Well, I shouldn't say I don't use it because I'm
Because
using
it's
it right
here.
now. I'm using it right now. Exactly.
What a weird latency.
Yes, there is latency. There is indeed.
Just at the regular meeting, I seem to have latency, which is strange. I don't understand.
To monitor, okay, so Roland says to monitor our audio, you could just monitor the output device, i.e. output device to WLM. On After Hours, they have a dedicated Zoom instance. I think the same for office hours. Right. Monitor the output device to WLM. Right, that's what I thought I was doing. I thought I was grabbing the output of Zoom, which is Rodecaster Pro 2 chat.
David, are you routing back to your Rodecaster the audio from Zoom or not?
Say that one more time.
Are you routing the audio back from the Zoom client back to
Yes.
the Rodecaster?
Yes.
Then you should be making sure that whatever you're hearing
Yeah.
in your ears is what the plugin is hearing.
If you're
So
going,
what
Right.
you're setting that is,
Right. I hear what you're saying.
because
Yeah.
that
Going
means
to a
that you're hearing
specific-
everything but you. That
Yeah.
yeah, and it's more difficult if you're going to a specific channel in the multi-channel. You have to pick the specific channel where the main Zoom input is coming from.
right.
Yeah.
And what you would probably have to do too is whatever you're hearing in your ears would be one, and also whatever when you're speaking, so your mic would also have to be in there too, if you really wanted yourself and the Zoom room, because
Oh,
again,
guess
Zoom
what?
is not going to bring back your audio, right?
Now wait, are
Well,
you
that's why
hearing
you
me
put the
double?
meter on a stand on that. No, we're not.
All right, good, because I think I just figured it out.
That's
Thanks.
why for office hours, they put that on a separate machine, which hears everything and has no outbound audio.
Wait, you stopped talking, and it's not going to work if you stop
Oh,
talking.
sorry, so sorry. So David, I don't know if it's possible for you to run the meter over on one of your other machines and then grab that screen to pull in, because if you had that other machine which had no outbound audio, only inbound audio, it would capture your audio plus everyone else's. But because you're running it on your machine, and I think WLM can only take in one input, or can it take multiple
Oh, no.
inputs?
I have multiple inputs here. So here so I have it set up now with my everything. What Mike said is what I did. So basically,
Yeah,
I said
okay.
everything I'm hearing, I want this thing to run into WLM. So I just took my entire Rodecaster Pro, and I sent it through, and now it seems to be it's picking me up for sure. The numbers are a little different than Hasmuk's, but
Because it's taking your level at your machine as opposed to what your level going through Zoom is, which when it reaches ESMA.
Yeah. The David, where's your audio coming from? The Zoom app or Ecamm?
I have no idea.
Good question, Hesbach.
Yeah,
I-
because
Important too, by
Describe
the
the
way.
chain.
So the chain is my mic goes into my Rodecaster Pro, which goes into Ecamm on one channel and Zoom on another channel.
yeah, so the way this works, if I can describe my setup, is that the meters in my office are in this meeting, and it's running on a Zoom client, okay? And the in Zoom, the speaker is what's feeding the WLM meters. So that speaker is listening to everyone in the meeting, similar to what Ray just suggested.
Correct.
What?
That's right.
But why on your meters? Like it was just showing you at -14. Is that
Say
accurate?
again.
You
This
were just
one? You
shown
mean when
at
I speak?
-14 on your meters.
Yeah, when I speak.
Yeah.
Yes. That's probably
David, what you should do is match the settings that Hesbach
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, that's
to
the other thing,
using
that
minus
settings may
20
be
and
different.
12.
yeah.
Wait, say that one more time.
Make sure that your LUFs are set at minus 20, not minus 26.
Correct.
And make sure your range is again what Hesbach has of 12.
I have
Not
no
20.
idea how to change. How the hell do you change it?
Mine is set at 24. You need to get the other part of those meters at the bottom end. If you open them up, you screen grab. Yeah, you got to go further down.
Yeah. Short max.
That's it. That's it.
So
Let
what
me-
should
let-
the short max be?
I'm gonna log into my remote computer where the meters are running, and I'll tell you what the settings are.
Thanks. Wow, this is fun.
And Tamara's got her pen ready. I saw that.
This is
Atta girl.
not this is not Zoom, but it's fun. We've been talking though for a while how nice it would be to have Zoom have something like this. I mean, they do have the if I bring up the settings, right? You can absolutely go in and you can check your audio and but the problem with this is that for us, it doesn't give me any information. Right? I mean,
Are you
obviously.
ready?
Oh goodness, I'm ready. I was born ready.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
A short max is minus 16.
Yeah.
Short minimum is minus 32.
Yeah.
True peak max is minus 2.
Yeah.
Target is minus 24.
That's exactly what I have.
And then momentary luff scale, luff's 18 dB.
Yeah. That's what I have too.
Yep.
So yeah, you can't change the long term here because that's actually a reading. That's from the meeting.
Correct.
Unders over. So it's hearing different things. Okay.
You should be able to reset it.
Reset.
Yeah, so yeah, I've reset mine. So you can see it's went down to 0.
How do you reset? What's the reset? In the top left?
Can you see? Yeah, next to the timer there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Reset.
Just hit
Okay.
reset.
All right. I just reset mine too.
And there you are.
Oh
my goodness. This
Yeah.
is
So,
fun.
so again, David, if you didn't want you in there, then of course you would just take yourself out. Where you add
Right,
both.
but I do want but I do want me in there. I mean that's I jump into see now it's
Yeah.
wow, now I'm really hot. I jump into
Right.
after hours all the time to try and to just make sure that I'm in the
right
range.
Now again, of course, you will always be hotter. It will always be hotter because again, Zoom processing coming back will have us lower, right?
Yeah.
That's why even when Hasma is talking locally too, he gets into the same -14, -15 range as well.
What's interesting about this from Zoom's perspective is that we just spent half an hour working on this, and it really doesn't matter if you're using Zoom's audio processing. Well, I take that back. I take that back. Sorry. In Zoom settings, let me pull up Zoom settings again. Oh, goodness. Come back.
And we lost your meters.
Yeah, I know. I think I clicked something by accident. There we go. If I pull up Zoom settings, because I didn't pin them, and we go to audio. So if you, where is it? If you choose, where is it? Where you can, oh, input volume. Here, it's right here. Automatically adjust microphone volume. So if that's checked, then everything that we just did doesn't really matter because Zoom's going to do it for you.
And what I've noticed personally is that it actually hurts me more on my audio. I've had to take it off, like you have.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I mean, my gut would be to say to folks, to 99% of the people out there, just let Zoom, just trust Zoom.
Sure.
For most
Again,
people,
but
that's
again-
probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, and really at that particular point, David, you have to take into consideration your participant, aka
Right.
co-host at that point.
Right. Okay.
The vast majority of people will just give up and say, give me a physical address to drive to. I want to meet in person.
Yeah. If you push them too hard, they absolutely will. You're right. So what else is happening, folks, in Zoom land? Tamara, did you have a question, or was it the Windows thing?
No, that was it. I'm gonna come up with. I'm playing with it slowly and building stuff out, and I'm like, how do I use it?
Here's the one thing I'll say about the Ecamm Windows is don't open them unless you need them.
Yeah, once
You know,
I
like if you don't need them, just close them. You know.
yeah once I figured out like what they all were, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I don't need you.
Yeah.
It's fun though. I like it.
Roland, wait, come back. It's so nice to see you. We get to put a face to the voice. Love it.
I
How are
do,
you,
I
sir?
do have a question. I'm good. I'm good to see everyone. I have a question. Is there a way to bookmark the Zoom meetings that you want to bookmark, regular meetings on the Zoom client?
What do you mean by bookmark?
So for example, there is Zoom test kitchen every Friday. I want to save bookmark that. I would love to be able to know that these are my regular meetings. I can see them on the Zoom client without having to go to join the meeting and look through the list. Or if I've attended too many Zoom meetings, then it's out of the list and I have to go and search for the meeting. Is there a way to bookmark the meeting so that it's always there? I can always just go to the client and click on join that meeting.
That would be through calendar, right? Isn't that? I mean, that's how they're going to show up there. If you have them in, either if you connect your Zoom if you connect your calendar where the Zoom meetings are, presume if you have them there, to Zoom, then they'll show up there, I believe.
That I see that as a possible solution, and I was looking on the calendar, but it seems that the only thing that appears in the calendar will be the meetings that I create. I haven't seen.
Oh, you know what? You're right, Roland. Well, no, wait a
So
second.
I'm just trying to find out, is there a way that something that I'm missing that I can actually.
No. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was in black there. What I've noticed too was what I've actually had to do is do a manual in my calendar as well. Because David didn't have us do the sign up form to
Right.
get in. it's not using Zoom's integration of Google Calendar or iCal or any calendar functionality. So because we don't actually sign up and not Zoom is not officially classifying because we're using David's personal meeting room.
Mhm.
So unless David actually sent out to all of us based on his personal meeting room, then we would actually get a calendar invite at that point.
Yeah, you weren't invited to this meeting through Zoom.
Right.
There's a link on the web, right? So it's not
And
it's not going to show up.
the other thing that I think is a distinguishing point, and I'll have to go test this to be sure, is that if I get a meeting invite from someone else and I save it into my calendar and I use the Zoom URL in the location, I actually get a start button in my Zoom calendar to actually join that meeting. The problem is the only link that I have is the toratestkitchen.com/thing, and I don't actually have the entire Zoom-based URL for joining the meeting there.
Correct. What I've actually had to do for that, Ray, was actually if you go into the invite section at the bottom of our current meeting, it'll actually give you the raw US 02 or US. And I've actually put that into my own personal Google Calendar.
Oh,
So you've added
Well,
you have
it's-
added it to the Google Calendar and then tied the Google Calendar to your Zoom calendar. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. So what I did was yes. So my Zoom calendar, my Google Calendar is linked with my Zoom client, A. B, what I actually did was I actually in our meeting here, because Ray's happy. Okay, so the actual
oh man.
the invite actually has the raw US, I think it's USO2. Ray, was it
Right.
USO2.zoom?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That so copy that string and put that into location of Google Calendar, more specifically, and then every time the meeting starts, you just have to in your client, and they'll kick
Yeah.
right in.
And I use Outlook, and I literally opened up the thing and it said, "Do you want to do all things of the series?" And I said yes, and I pasted that link in there, hit save, and 3 seconds later, the start button showed up on my Zoom calendar. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
because initially I had Jeff's. When he signed us up, I just kept redoing that one, like as a weekly in your calendar. And all I did was when David took over, is I actually got rid of Jeff's and included David's.
Oh, I
Can't
just
you-
found there's another way you can do it also. It's directly into the Zoom calendar. Just stumble upon it. You can actually set in Zoom, you can add a offline meeting and paste the URL in the description. And there you have it.
Yeah. Again, depending on the calendar client too, Roland, I think would be,
No, this is straight in the Zoom client, Zoom calendar.
in the
Directly
Zoom
in the
calendar
Zoom
itself.
calendar,
Okay.
there actually is an option. I didn't notice it before for offline meetings. So when you go to event type, there is a section that says event type. You can set it to offline, and then I've just dropped the URL in the description, and then I can set if I want the meeting to repeat. Whoa, I didn't see that. Okay. So you go
that's
to your
cool.
calendar. You go to your calendar, click to add an event. Instead of the event type being Zoom, just click Zoom, just select offline, and then you just add it in your description somewhere there, and then it shows up in your calendar, and you have it there. I don't have to create a meeting. Ah, that is cool. That is cool.
So I have
Oh,
my calendar, my Google Calendar connected.
oh, you already have your Google Calendar connected. Okay.
I think I do. Calendar. Yeah, I have my Google Calendar connected,
Oh, okay, that's why.
which should mean that, let me just jump in here. Open full details. So interesting. This,
Send
I have Zoom Test Kitchen here, but it's not, I think it's showing up here, I think, why would it be showing up here? I don't actually even know.
Well, because it's today. So it's
Yeah,
gonna show
but
you the
it's,
meeting
but
for
if,
today.
but I don't actually have it in my calendar as an event.
Yeah, there it is.
No, but this is just me blocking the timeout. Like, there's no Zoom information in here.
It matters not. Cause remember, that's what I said a while ago. It can be an offline meeting. That's what I realized.
Yeah, but how does it know? Yeah, well, okay.
It just displaying the time because you
Yeah,
have
so
linked to
David, what
calendar.
you can do is you could actually do a manual. So for the same, where you made the note of blocking out the time,
Yeah,
that Calendarly that you're blocking that out on? Or
it's
you
just Google
blocking,
Calendar. It's just my Google Calendar.
but you did it in Google Calendar. You didn't use a third party
Mm-mm.
to block that out. Okay. So what I would do then is just the same note that you did there, do another calendar, add a new calendar, and then we could actually walk you through how to actually set that up if you want.
Well, but it's already showing up here.
Right, but you can't click on it.
Sure, I can. Open.
Is
full
it actually going to
details.
open the meeting?
Oh, no. I
Right.
see what you're saying.
That's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
oh, I understand. So it's interesting though. Look at oh, this isn't, I'm such an idiot. This isn't a meeting. This is
Wrong
just what's
account.
next on my calendar. God almighty. I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
All right. So
Hi,
let's
Josh.
Josh. Oh my goodness. What a treat. So I'm actually going to go
Hello.
in to my calendar. Hey, Josh. I'm going to go into my calendar and I'm going to add. Now, where do I grab the URL, the actual URL again? Yeah, sorry, by the way, about not
Go to
sharing.
your little green shield at the very top.
Yep.
Click on that and then copy link.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Right. Copy link. And I'm going to go ahead and add it to this thing. Add Zoom meeting. Oh, no, you know what? It's going to do it. No, that's not what I wanted. So here's the problem. The problem is that the host of this meeting is not the same account that my Google account is that my calendar is set up with. So that's not really going to work.
But it shouldn't matter.
When I
Is the
click,
account where that calendar where the button is that Zoom account that you're logged into?
yes.
The
So
host?
it's when I, yes, no. So when I click on Zoom meeting from Google Calendar, well, here, let me bring it over so I can show you. So,
There
so
you
this
go.
is, right. So this is the event. When
Yeah.
I click on Zoom meeting, it's going to automatically.
No. Yeah, don't do that, David.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. So
Okay.
X out of there and in location, put the URL now
Okay.
and all events.
Okay. So now,
Now take a look.
and let's see if
Oh, look,
Ta-da!
it just popped up.
See?
look at that.
Ain't it cool?
So now if I go to my home and there's the start button.
Isn't that nice?
Is there any way that it would know if you don't use that US02 Zoom link? Like, is there any way that it would know if you use what's it called, a mask link or a redirect?
Vanity a vanity URL.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, no, I'm not even thinking about a vanity because vanity URL, Zoom offers vanity URLs. I do one
Correct.
step further. I just do a redirect. I buy.
No.
It
So
won't know.
Zoom looks at the format of the URL and says, is this in the canonical format that is required for a Zoom meeting?
Great.
And if it is, I'll use it.
Right.
Right. Right. So it's definitely going to look for the zoom.us in there. 100%.
And I think the other caveat that I heard somebody mention, and it might have even been here, is that if you have the ability to put a custom meeting name instead of the 8 to 10 digit number for the meeting, it also will not work. It will only work with the numbers, I believe, was what I heard.
Interesting. Let's now I'm curious. I'm gonna go into my Zoom settings. What's going on here? Go away. Let me bring you all over here with me. So I'm gonna go to zoom.us. Oh, I typed it wrong, sorry. Zoom.us. And I should be able to log in pretty quick. Oh, it's gonna ask me for the who's he wants it again. This is my problem. Look at all my Zoom accounts. Oh my God. That's the one.
You know, you can log into multiple Zoom accounts on the web, right?
Yes, but well, yeah, yes, and yeah. On the web, it tends to forget. I don't know why.
Well, there is sort of a timeout,
Yeah.
but it's a week or more, I think.
Okay, so if I go into scheduler, no, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. I want to go into meetings. Scheduler is that new thing. All right, so here it is. So this is my, I guess you'd call it the vanity URL, right? This invite
No,
link.
it's not a vanity. Oh, well, you're talking about the vanity. Yeah, that part. Copy that and see if that will work.
Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna go in here, copy this. It should.
We're
I mean,
not
it still
seeing.
starts with US02, so there's no
Yeah.
reason why it shouldn't work. All events, bada bing, bada boom, save. And if we go back here, still, yeah. Wait, let me click on view meeting info. Oh yeah, see, you could see that it actually
Oh,
updated
okay. Oh, nice,
the number
nice,
there.
nice.
Yep.
So it does do it now. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But that isn't, is that the vanity URL? I
Now,
don't think,
the vanity URL is the part in front of the zoom.us.
oh,
Like one of my clients has, you know, the name of their URL, dealertire.zoom.us.
okay, all right. And I don't think that's like an extra thing. I don't believe I even have access. Is that
If you have a
just
business,
for,
if you have a business account, you can request it.
oh, you can request it. Okay.
Yeah, so David, and again, like Ray was saying, I've also seen it where I've done a lot of stuff with Avixia. So they would have avixia.zoom.us. That's what I
Right,
was saying
right.
before. It's gonna for sure look for zoom.us. Then it's expecting all the other information afterwards. And where Ray was saying that it was number-based, there was also potential problems that you could actually customize that, Ray. Did I understand that right? Where the numbers become
Well, yeah,
Well,
that's what he did in his link.
that's what this is, right? Although that's the invite link. So my meeting ID is still numbers. But
it's not set up for registration. That invite link is something that you send to someone that says, "Hey, meet me here."
correct.
And so that's the
Exactly.
URL that would be the join link for anyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, I complicate things for us, but not for normal folks. I don't even use this link. I have a redirect from my website that will take people right to my Zoom room.
To get
right,
a,
which now you learned, Dave, today that people won't be able to put in their calendar because of it. It'll still work, but it won't.
They can put it in their calendar, but they won't be able to use the calendar to click the start join button in order to get there.
Yeah, trust me, none of them are in the Zoom client looking for the start button. They're clicking on any link I send them. Yeah. Sorry, Josh, were you jumping in? I apologize. I thought I cut someone off. I don't know who.
It
No,
was me.
it
I think
wasn't
it's
you.
Frank.
Oh, it was Frank. Okay,
I
well, if
was
it's
just gonna
just
say
Frank.
if you want to get a custom URL with your domain in it, you have to prove to Zoom that you own the domain.
Right. And I actually tried to now, thank you. I remember now. I tried to do that. And yeah, you have to add like a
Yeah, first be able to pass a CAPTCHA test, David. So,
no, that's where I got hung up.
Right. You
Yeah,
have to put one of the text records in your
right.
DNS.
A C name or a text
Yep.
record, right? And I actually
Yep.
think I did, and I wonder if I did. Let's see. I'm gonna this I will hide for now.
Yes.
Well, and a little bit sort of contrast to that, as a pro account, I can't do that. But in Zoom events, you can actually request a custom domain name. And I had to jump through all of those hoops in order to do that as well. So,
Wow.
but it took them 2 weeks to figure out how to make it work on their end for some reason. It was crazy.
You can also get associated domains, which means you get multiple domains.
What does that mean?
If you're like an enterprise company or something and you've got multiple domains, you can set up your account to restrict all of those domains so that nobody can register an email address with any of those associated domains.
Gotcha. Oh no, it looks like maybe I didn't do it. I did it for Google because I
Yes,
I
Google
connected
wants
my
you to do that
mail.
is for, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Because then it thinks
Text.
you're spamming.
So does anyone know where you get the information to um
Well,
to do?
Ray, correct me if I'm wrong. Zoom is going to automatically generate that text that David has to put in there, correct? It's not generic.
No, but where would I find it is my question. You know,
Coming
like
right up here. There you go. Look in chat.
All right. See what we got.
If you say,
Open
if
Zoom.
you search for,
It's asking me to open Zoom.
not the URL that I sent. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I copied and pasted the wrong link. Oops.
That
This
looks
one.
like
There
our
you go.
meeting
Sorry,
link.
sorry, David.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like our meeting link that you sent us.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's see what we got here. There you go. Guidelines for vanity URL requests. Right. Oh, you have to apply. Okay. So for Hooli, yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, David, I would almost think that the information that you would need to put in that TXT information into DNS is
Oh, now here.
customized
See,
per
look.
domain.
Look. I did
There you
apply.
go. Waiting for approval, and mine stuck like that for weeks, and I had to write and get tier 2 tech support to get
I've been-
involved to figure out what the issue was.
This has been this way for so long. I didn't even remember that I had applied for it. I mean, this is at least a year old.
Open a support ticket.
Yeah. I mean, it's not all that important to me, but wow.
The things we dive into.
Exactly. What else are Ray? I'm sorry, not Ray. Frank, I cut you off before. I keep cutting you off. Did you have something you were?
Oh, I think I said it all.
No? Okay. What else do we have, folks? What else is going on?
I popped on because I saw you guys experimenting with the streaming app.
What you got for us?
Oh, I was curious how you made out.
not great. I mean, we're streaming, but
We ended up with 4 different streams, I think, or
Yes.
at least 3. Yeah.
we had a
Oh,
few
yeah.
different fail points. Yeah. I mean, I
Now,
think what
David,
we all
what's
walked.
your relationship with so your Zoom account and your YouTube account? Are you the manager of the YouTube account or are you the owner?
Yeah, so that was one of the hiccups that we had early on, is that I was a manager, not an owner. Jeff made me the owner, co-owner, I guess, or owner. I'm not sure which. If I don't know if there even is such a thing as co-owner, but I am now at the level at which I can stream directly from the YouTube app. Excuse me, from the Zoom app to that page. The difficulty we ran into is that using the Zoom live streaming app, I went live and then the app got hung up. So I would just said the circle of death, and I wasn't getting any comments or anything. So I refreshed it, and then it looked happy again, and it said, "Would you like to start streaming?" I said, "Well, yeah, that's what I clicked it again, and then I got 2 streams going. So, and I think the main takeaway for me, at least, that Roland shared was that when it comes to reliably streaming from Zoom, maybe from anywhere for that matter, but certainly from Zoom, that RTMP is just the way to. You set it up on YouTube and then you grab the RTMP, the stream key, and you do it that way. At least that's what his thought was.
Manually interfacing as opposed to automatically interfacing.
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, hopefully, the app is up to date with the latest APIs and SDKs.
Yeah.
More APIs.
The
At
apps
least
feature,
10%
the
of the
API that where you can pull down your already created streams is a really cool feature. But the difficulty that I've had in using it was the fact that the main test YouTube channel that I'm using, I'm not the owner, I'm the manager of, and so it's some API wizardry. The other thing
Yes.
is that if you use the straight up, like, so if you pull into your streaming setups and you say YouTube and you do that YouTube setting, you have to understand that your YouTube channel doesn't know who you are until you interface it. So it's going to create a brand new stream key for that particular interface. And every time you do that, it'll create a brand new one. If you do like Facebook or the YouTube direct link, it's going to be a brand new thing, which may not be a problem for others. But if you have a recurring stream that uses a particular stream key, then you have to make sure you either manually use it or you use the API if you are an owner, and you can actually select, you can see which already created links that you have and then access them, which is actually really, really nice.
And I can speak for the YouTube platform. You could actually make a stream key based on events. So let's say David wanted to have a Zoom test kitchen stream key. You could have that stream key all the time just for that. And then David wanted to do a weekly show other than Zoom test kitchen. You could have a stream key just for that as well.
Yeah, you can put in, we had a production where there were several volunteers, and one of the things that someone's job was to go ahead and pre-build in Zoom events what the stream key and link was for that event. And so when you did the custom or RTMP stream, then it would evoke what was put into the portal, and you could use it there. That's for the, how can I say it? The native. That's not the streaming link, but that's just the native using the stream. And it'll evoke, if you have the tick box to configure it afterwards, then it'll make sure. There was a time when, in order to, if you have a 1080p account, the only way to get the option to select 1080p would be to make sure that you could configure it afterwards, and it would give you the drop down to go from 720 to 1080.
Yeah. Definitely that was one of the things on YouTube that I noticed too. But then, no, that's cool, Josh. And when it comes to the 720p versus 1080p scenario, that I didn't actually know. Roland, did you run into that or do you usually use the different bit rates, or are you usually running just one one bit rate over the other, or screen resolution, I should say, over the other, not bit rate?
No, I haven't run into that. I've just circled whatever Zoom has given me, the 720.
Right. Yeah. So you're sticking with the 720p setting. So that's cool. Okay. So yeah. So when it comes to yeah. So basically, just to finish this up, basically, if it doesn't work with the built-in functionality of going to specifically clicking on YouTube or clicking on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, in Zoom or any other encoder app that you might be using, then definitely go to the custom RTMP and actually get the latest information from the content delivery network of your choice that you're using. Should it be YouTube? Should it be Facebook? To get the manual RTMP and manual stream key. And again, we were talking about this too, Josh, before, is that eventually we've been talking, Ray Harwood and I have been talking to Josh about them actually getting into using SRT. So we're hoping that they are looking into doing SRT in the future as well, coming from Zoom client as well as from Production Studio, as well as from obviously the live streaming app that they're updating next week that Birdie told David about. So stay tuned on that one. That's what I got for that. So that, yeah. So again, just for the reason being of how the stream key actually came about in the content delivery network world is basically that actually would be what we used to call, and Roland, you'll probably start laughing at me bringing this terminology up, but that would be the pub point or the publishing point. That actually what the stream key has been rebranded to. In the old days, we used to call the pub point or the publishing point, and basically it is the extension after the domain of the streaming server that it actually listens to that. But it's been rebranded ever since HLS came out to a stream key. But it really, in theory, on the streaming server end, it's a publishing point that you have that's been randomized in this case for you to use. That's why you should never give out your stream key, because if you're broadcasting and somebody else finds out your stream key, that's how they can be a man in the middle of that stream, and they could actually take over that stream just like that, because there is no security at that level ever. So very, very important to make sure that you keep your stream keys private.
Especially from oh God, what was that? It came up in the release notes a couple weeks ago. The crazy, the
crazy.
No, come on, the supercomputer thing, the cyber. Forget it.
The AI stuff, David?
No, Zoom came out in the release notes a little while ago. It was one of
Talking
our.
about the enhanced encryption.
No, well, yeah, I guess, but what was it? What was it for? It was against.
Yeah, there was some fancy name that it didn't really.
Supercomputers can't hack the hash.
Wait a second. Now I'm frustrated. I need to know.
Zoom has a quantum computer now?
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
The quantum computer. Right? What did they call it? They called it.
Which release is that?
6, I think.
Post quantum defense.
Yeah,
That's what they
post
had.
quantum encryption from our friend Jonas. Hi, Jonas.
They have post quantum defense now. It was in their release notes, which is hysterical. Oh my goodness.
Again,
What else? Oh, sorry.
if you're the prime minister of a country or someone high up in a business, intercepting your calls would be worth another state bringing those resources to bear. I don't think it's really going to protect this particular Zoom meeting, but there are people who need that sort of level of protection.
No, absolutely. 100%. Absolutely.
So I had an event recently, and whenever someone shows up with someone else's name in the Zoom meeting, um, and I think I knew all the vectors that could allow that to happen, but maybe I don't. So this happened recently, where two people showed up with the same name, and I said, did anyone share your links? And I wanted to make sure that I'd sent out individual calendar invites for folks, and I double checked to make sure that the one that I had registered was in fact to that email address. And they, if they did, I they didn't admit to it, but I thought the only way that that could happen is if they actually got
Shared a
hold-
link.
Someone shared a link, so they had to have shared the link.
Had to have. I had
Number
this
one.
happen about a month ago.
The
But
number
isn't
one
there-
rule of tech support is users lie.
But isn't there a way in for meetings where you require registration for you to set that it has to be unique so that the two persons couldn't join, so one person can only
Authentication required. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's the game of how much security do you want? Do you want it to be that only the people that pay can get in, and only the first person with that name gets in, or it's that juggling match of how important is your event and how much hand holding are you willing to do?
And the other piece, I think, Josh, you and I have had this conversation, is that even the requirement to be logged into Zoom for a webinar does not match up the account you're logged into to the account you're registered from. That match requirement can only be enforced in Zoom events. Is the person logged into the account that matches their registration? That's only enforceable over in Zoom events. And I've done this over testing in Zoom webinar like a year or two ago. That you can still be logged into an account and use a different join link. It just requires that you be logged into an account so we actually know which email address belongs to you.
So the terminology we're using here is registered, right? That's registered attendee.
Correct.
Okay.
But you're talking about a panelist who's been invited, correct?
Correct.
And so, you can go in and rename them in the participant list, and you can go in if you're using the cards, the special cards, you can change the information in the cards. What I found out a couple of weeks ago is that even if you've done all of that and they actually look like two separate people on your gallery view, if you're using Production Studio can never find the second person. They can
always the
only
first
ever
one.
find the first
Yep.
one.
Right.
Same thing
So
with Zoom OSC.
that's a sort of rock below the water, because you think that things are going well in your production, and of course you've got people with all distinct names. But Zoom Production Studio is like, yeah, this duplicate, we're just going to ignore them.
Right. Yeah.
Are duplicates other than not knowing who the person's real name is? Technically, are there any technical issues with having the same person using the same link?
Messes up Zoom OSC for sure.
Yeah.
Zoom OSC and Production Studio. There was a time where, and they fixed it. This was an event that I did a little over a year and a half ago, where two people came in with the same one, and I renamed them on the panelist screen. But we were using the cards, and when you changed one of the cards, it changed both of them. Now the card will actually change. I believe that was the experience that I had a couple of weeks ago. The card will change.
Okay.
But still there's something on the back end that looks at your registered ID instead of the sort of contextual stuff, and says, nope, we found one. We found the first one on the list, and we're not looking any farther.
Well, there's another sticky wicket too that talking about people coming in with the correct names. So depending on the integrations, I've dealt with a couple of them with vMix and with a few other ones. You want to make sure everyone is named as you want them to and settled before you start recording or bring your machine in, because otherwise it doesn't remember the change that you made. So that's the changing of someone's name. If you want to make it more distinct or added to it, it'll still remember what it saw, either whenever it joined or whenever it started its recording, started its streaming. Yeah, capture.
Is it the recording? You know, now I'm going to have to go make another test, Josh. Jeez.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I had actually started Production Studio. I guess the recording started. Oh, now I can't remember exactly which order things went in. I'm going to have to do some testing. Oh.
Yeah, from the developer summit this week, a lot of the code on the video SDK is ID based.
Which ID?
The backend ID, meaning your, and again, it's based on the more the actual string. And I, Jonas, you might be able to help me. That's watching on YouTube because he was there with me this week. It's there is a string that your ID gets generated when you connect.
Sure.
And that is more what they know. The name that we see on our screen is more vanity to them. It's not what the back end actually uses. It actually
Right.
uses as you
But-
connect.
But
you get
there's a
generated
numeric
ID.
there's a numeric attendee ID that is unique per person who is joined. And to me, you know, why aren't they using that? And I don't know. To me, that would solve a lot of things.
It's unique,
Maybe
but it's not
complicates the plus.
persistent.
Well,
Right.
that's true.
It's
Josh
not
is
consistent
right.
across meetings, or
It's not
Is
it's
it-
not persistent if they drop and rejoin.
oh, so okay, so it's per meeting. It's a number that's based on it's. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I'm not sure if this is related or not, but you know when you have two clients, maybe two different clients on your machine, and you join. Wait, let me get this straight. You join the same meeting. Now, forget it. It doesn't even have to be on your same machine. Sorry. Two clients, you join the same machine from two clients both logged into the same account. You get a pop-up that says that polling will become inactive on the first machine.
Never seen that, but I trust
Like
you.
you can't, and I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly.
David, as in
You're correct.
find polling, the word polling.
Like the Zoom polling, like the using polls in Zoom. Yeah, like Josh is right. Spearfishing. No.
Right. So no. What I was thinking about, yeah, is it we're talking about Zoom polls as in if there's polls during the meeting, you can't answer because somebody else will. Or
Yeah.
that came before you. Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know. I'm gonna try.
Can't have David voting 5 times.
What do you say?
Can't have David voting 5
I know.
times.
I can't stuff the ballots. Sign in. All right.
You were logged in from another device. Your polling session is inactive.
Thank you. Yes.
I found a post from 2021 on the Zoom community where
It's
someone
real.
is. Yeah. All right.
Just so you all know, it is real, and I've never understood why that's the thing. Right? Why is polling the one thing that becomes inactive when you happen to be logged in?
Well, again, you don't want to like Roland said, you don't want to stack the poll, you don't want to stack the results.
Well, no, but okay, hold on. I'm going to join this meeting from a different computer. 603-533. Okay.
Oh,
Zoom
and
test.
actually Chad from YouTube is actually making a comment that I think it changes when changing to breakout as well. Worth double checking.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think Chad
Now
was
wait.
yeah, what he's talking about is the Zoom ID associated with one session. Interesting.
Zoom is still now. See, it didn't say anything. I didn't get a pop-up saying that I can't do polls.
Are you logged in as host on both machines on the same account?
Yeah,
Have you tried to
Co-host, yeah.
launch a poll?
I don't want to reclaim host. I want to stay co-host. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, again, with this, the polling, well, wait a minute, can a co-host poll, Ray?
Do any of you
think-
see up in the
Yes, yes,
top?
yes, they can.
They can,
In-
no?
Yes.
Do
There is
any
an
of you
option to
see?
allow them to?
Sorry, do any of you see in the top left of your Zoom window? Here,
I just see the Zoom workplace.
Yeah,
why
me
do
too.
I see my meeting participant ID? What is that? I mean, I know what it is, but why is that there?
Oh. Because you were
You
a
see
bad
that?
boy? I don't know.
Look at that. Let me get rid of this. This is just the vanilla
Oh,
client.
do you know why? I bet there's a reason for it. Is because you're logged in as the same person on another machine. You might need to know which ID
Oh.
you're in. Log out of the other one and see if that meeting ID goes away.
Well, I can't do that because then the meeting will end. But
Oh, I thought you were still logged in as the same person on two machines.
I am.
Your co-host on the other. Can't
So
you
you want
can't you shut down the co-host one?
Right, but that's this one that you're looking at right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the co-host one.
So David, just to confirm, that's not showing up on your host one.
No, nothing. I don't see anything on my host one.
Okay. But I think that's probably why, so that you can know that this one is the duplicate.
Yeah, it must be.
So
Where
does that
else?
mean Josh would know that too then for when he ran into that? Could that have meant that that second person that Josh had in his meeting would have seen that too?
I wonder if does it matter whether polling is enabled for a meeting that you get the notification?
Well, no, now we're talking about something different. Now we're talking about the fact that this client up here is showing me my meeting participant ID and nobody else has that on theirs.
Hmm.
That's what I'm meaning, Josh, is that maybe one of your, whoever came in second with the same user credentials that supposedly didn't get the same email link, they might have seen that at the top too, and of course ignored it, of course.
Huh.
We're sharing results already, okay.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just I'm just pressing buttons at this point. That's so interesting. Where else does the meeting participant ID come in? Where else do we see that? Do we
When
ever?
you phone in.
When you phone in, you use it?
Mm-hmm. Has to be able to identify who you are.
David, so for everybody, if you click on the green check box, you'll see your participant ID up there.
Oh.
That gives all your security information up there.
Yeah, down at the bottom, I see it, right. And then for me, if I open my participants panel, again, yeah, it says co-host in this duplicate machine, co-host me, and then they put the participant ID. Well, they really want me to know what my participant ID is. It's really important to them. Huh, fascinating. Very interesting. Switch account. Ooh, Roland, what did you post for us?
Just something
the-
about for webinars. There is a flag there that says you can uncheck so that the attendee can only one attendee per unique URL cannot join.
There you go.
But
And Josh does have his hand up too.
Oh, I'm sorry, Josh.
Another topic when you're done.
Yeah, go for it.
So I don't know. I know this is on Windows client, but when you full screen the secondary window, and I can do it. Let's see. I'll pin the meters in the second stream and cut to them. You see it has the exit full screen in the top corner, and then Zoom Workplace. It's got this cute little header that it provides you with now on full screen. I don't remember that ever being there.
Good one.
Look at that.
I don't. Every once in a while, I will frame
No,
someone up, and so
No,
I'll,
you know what, Josh? Pin someone else there because that's just that feed. Oh no, sorry. Wait. Interesting.
Josh, there might be a hide panel. I don't know if that will do it.
When I pin someone there, Josh, I don't have that. It's not on my second screen. Do we lose Josh?
oh, sorry, muted.
Yeah, no, Josh is still there.
So when I'm looking at, I don't know what I'm looking at now. Oh, that's Josh. All right, when I only see that on your screen, Josh, not on mine. If I pin someone down there, not down there, to the second screen, I don't have that bar at the top.
Now, historically, Mac and PC have handled their second screens differently
Oh, your
as
PC.
far as their. Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's with the update. Sorry, I was
Interesting.
muted for an undetermined period of time.
That's
Um,
interesting. Do you see that, Mike? If you pin someone to the second monitor,
If you full screen it, typically
Yeah,
it
full
full
screen.
screened, and now Zoom has given us this beautiful, gorgeous little thing at the top.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if co-host is going to help me or not. Being co-host to test that. Let me just check something.
But there's a full screen icon in the upper right-hand corner, yes? Oh, no.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. So I can
Yes,
hit the full screen, which is almost full screen. Now, if I drag this to Windows full screen, now it's toggling between maximized screen and full screen, which is not that useful.
Josh, are you in dual monitor mode or not?
I am.
when did that happen?
Did you try
Recently.
this? Have you tried this without dual monitor?
I can try it. Sometimes you have to reset for it to reset. Let's see if it's feeling cooperative today.
You have to come out of a meeting for it to take effect.
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. It all depends on how it feels that day.
Yeah, what I do is I purposely do not run dual monitor mode, even though I do have dual monitor.
There you go. Went right away. Now I'm out of it.
Huh.
So now I'm not in dual monitors, so I can't pin anyone to a second screen. I can pin someone to a first screen. Pin. And helps if I show. Right. And of course I have the regular interface as you would expect
Right.
for the first screen, but that doesn't, the first screen never was full screenable, if that's a word. In case you
So
wondered, my
so it's
audio's
only the issue on
impeccable.
the secondary monitor. Yeah.
Yeah, typically you could get a fairly clean feed. There was actually a way of getting you could actually squash the resolution down with the Mac on the second screen at some point. It's a yeah, it's an old screen scraping technique. I don't use it for anything serious, but like I say, if I'm gonna frame check someone, I'll full screen them in the app and then just overlay the frame over top of them. Well, now there's an additional header and sides that we've now been blessed with.
Josh, can you try going into your appearance? Go to general, then appearance, and change your appearance to system setting, and see if it works now.
Into Zoom settings?
In the Zoom settings on the client, go to general, then appearance, and then system setting.
So I'll want to
And change.
re-enable dual monitors, right?
Right, and re-enable dual model, and then try again.
Okay. And then their appearance, system setting. Okay.
Right.
I've done that. It was on dark mode previously. Don't ask about the wallpaper, by the way. So looks the same.
Well, it works. That change works for me. When I put it back to light, let me see and go again.
Oh, interesting. When I go to light, this one didn't get the memo.
I actually, okay, when I go to light, see if it comes back. When I go to system settings, it goes away.
You know, it's funny. As I switch between the modes,
Right.
the second screen is in unaffected.
So yeah, I can.
Maybe I'll toggle off the dual screen mode. Take it away.
Memos delayed in transit.
Right.
Now, Josh, question would be, Roland, what are you running as your default theme for your for Windows? Are you running dark or are you running light?
I was running light before.
Okay.
And I saw the error and I changed it back to system and it worked.
No, I'm saying on the actual system itself, at the OS level, what are you running?
The OS,
Because if you're telling it go system settings, you might be still.
No man, in Zoom. No, I didn't go to. This is all in Zoom.
Right, but again, you told it go system setting. Now system setting is reading the theme of your OS, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Let me.
So what your theme is of your OS is what I'm talking about now.
This way. What am I running there?
Josh, you might want to check that too. I don't know if that would apply to you or not. Because it almost sounds like to me, David, David and Ray, this actually sounds like it's a bug just in there when they've gone up to this new type of workplace interface.
I am running a custom theme. Let's see what is this based off. I don't think it has anything to do with the Windows side, because I'm running a custom theme, not running the default.
Right, but again, it might be depending on how Zoom made the interface. Because again, if it's doing it dark.
Let me change. I'm changing the OS level.
Okay.
So let me change it to the one. No impact. Nothing.
Right, but again, you're still at system setting and it's working.
Yeah.
Right.
And the change you're seeing, Roland, is that it's removing the taskbar.
Right.
It's removing it. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Me...
This box is due for a re-image anyway, so that might be a thing. I have had some anomalies work on it, so maybe it's just me, but it's interesting that you were able to replicate it based on your settings.
Yeah, I was able to. So I have pinned mic. So I'm going to show you that. So that's mic pinned.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm going to change it now back into Zoom. settings, general appearance, and I'm going to change it from system settings to light. Nothing happens yet. I'm going to uncheck dual mode, turn it back on, and there you have it. It's back.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it does look like
It's
a bug.
back. It's back. And then somehow, well, there it is. But this time it might be a bug because now it's interesting. Now when I go full screen now, it's actually going away with the blue. Let me go back to system setting. So it might be a bug. So yeah, it might be a bug. Yeah, it might be a bug. Let me see. Go back. Full screen. Might be
You know, it's a
There it is.
bug. Mike is in this meeting twice with two different names. That's, I mean, there's something wrong with that. For goodness sakes.
That's what
That's
Josh had a problem with this week.
That's a problem.
That's feedback. All right, there you go.
Oh, that's even, oh my Lord.
Yeah. No idea.
Oh my Lord, it's Leo Mindell.
I know. It is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Mike, I just passed host to you because I have to excuse myself in a moment. So, how are you, Leo?
Yeah. I'm gonna join with whatchamacallit?
I don't know,
Was
because
that
the
allowed?
last time I saw you, you joined from your bike. I went on a bike ride with you in after hours. That was fantastic.
Yeah, you did.
Zooming
You did.
from
Can,
his
can you
bike.
hear me okay? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I turned my meters off. Oh, but Hasmooks are still in here.
Hasmux on. What? Come on. Is this gonna work? Is that you? Can you let my? Does Zoom tiles need? Does someone need to allow my tiles in?
You're not requesting. At
You're
least I don't
not
see it.
connecting with the second person as of yet, Leo, but come on in.
Come on. It says not in meeting.
Bye, Tamara. I'm not even a co-host anymore. I can't
I
help
see.
you at all.
I'll get it, Leo, no problem.
Okay. This is my first trial at tiles.
Oh, here we go. This is exciting.
It says
It made you
capture
feel important,
disabled.
David.
Why is it capture disabled?
I still don't see it in here.
I don't know. It says capture disabled.
Yeah, I don't think
further.
you're not even in the meeting.
Mike's-
Are you?
Mike-
No,
in
I
the
know
meeting?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to join. I'm just trying to see if I can join the meeting.
Do you
Ray,
want
you had a
the?
question for me? Ray?
No.
Me.
Oh, okay. I thought it. Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
By the way, nice shirt, Ray.
Zoom. Yeah.
Is that from Zoomtopia?
I got this for participating in a interview, sort of a, how do you like the changes we're thinking about our product, sort of.
Oh, that's great.
It was, and I've told this story several times. It was this shirt or a $50 gift card, and I chose this shirt. So
Wait, can you not buy that shirt? Like
I don't think so.
in the
I
gift?
don't think-
Oh, then it's worth it.
Can't find it.
Absolutely.
if you ever go to the Zoom, they have a shop where you can order stuff. It's all the high end stuff that, I'm not buying.
All right, Leo. Your Zoom.
Yeah,
Leo
I'm in. I
Tiles-
think I'm in.
Leo Tiles
think
is
I'm
in.
in.
You haven't asked me for any thing. Does he need to, David? Would be a question. I don't know Tiles.
I
Yes.
thought
Okay.
it says
I'm
capture
still waiting.
disabled. Hold on.
So click in the top left. Click that button.
Capture disabled. Now it's going to go. I was allowed to record meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay.
Tile away.
So, how do I?
Actually, I just so everyone knows, I did not get a pop-up just now. Did anyone else get a pop-up saying? And
No,
I
because
think
it came
that's
before.
right, exactly, because I did it at the beginning of the meeting, and so
Right.
yeah.
Right. Just one.
Right.
So it says outputs. So I now gallery
And again,
output.
David, I don't think I would see it as co-host when I was there. I think it only goes to host. Right? Am I
Which
wrong?
one? The request for?
No, I thought it went to everybody.
No. The request goes to the host. The pop-up or the alert goes to everyone. Roland, thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the weekend.
David, I did make you co-host.
Yeah, I saw. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Leo, are you building us tiles to look at?
I don't know.
Oh. What was it? I don't know.
if I could do it.
Sounds
I
like
don't know
it.
if I could do it.
I believe in you.
But you believe in me.
Break it, Leo. Break it.
How do I have to like? How do I now send this to somewhere?
Go to the output page and
Yeah.
choose. I think it's monitor. I don't have mine open anymore.
Display.
Yeah, display. You can only send it right now. You can only send it to a display, but you can even send it to the one that.
Okay, but what you can do, David, what I can do. Let me try and see if I can be a smart ass. Where is
He's
it?
looking for
Where
his
have I got
screen scraper.
I know what.
one? No.
Or he's eating chips or something.
What?
What?
No. What I'm looking for.
Let's make a deal.
God, I've got to go downstairs.
I know that card's in there somewhere.
This is making for great YouTube TV, by the way.
I know that quarter's in there somewhere.
Zoom Test Kitchen Comedy Channel.
Give me a pen with something fuzzy on the end.
Give me one memento. Uno momento, por favorio.
Wait, what was that, Josh? What was that from?
Let's make a deal.
Is that Let's Make a Deal? Oh my God, that's so
Yeah,
funny.
he would go through the audience asking for various things, and yeah,
It's all COVID games.
Right.
The treasure hunts, you know.
oh my.
Oh, Chad was actually mentioning in YouTube. He was thanking Ray and saying that was observed in testing probably 18 months ago. How have things changed? I try and remember what that was related to at the time. I didn't see when. Chad, if you can let us know what that was.
I'm
related
back. I'm back.
We were talking about the moving between breakouts. Did the ID change as you moved back and forth? And he said that it stayed the same. And I said that I thought that was different than a previous behavior, but I can't remember exactly how far back. So.
Right. Okay.
This is riveting, and I can't wait to see what comes of it, but I have to go because I have to start going
Okay,
home.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dummy
a dummy
headless
HDMI
monitor.
Yeah.
onto the HDMI port on my machine is the first thing. And then in Ecamm, I'm going to capture the dummy monitor.
There you go.
Does that make sense? And
It
then
makes
I
perfect
should be
sense.
able to push
Yes.
this to anything.
So I do the same thing, except I have a physical monitor that I'm sending the
Yeah,
output
but
to.
I've just got to
Same
find, I can't seem to find a dummy HDMI. I can find a dummy display port. But
I mean, I can
can't
find a dummy.
HDMI.
I was going to say you're on the Zoom Test Kitchen. There are plenty of dummies lying around.
Yeah.
We're
That's
all
why you
dummies
allowed
something.
Josh. That's why you allowed Josh in the room.
I figured by now you'd have found a real monitor.
So,
What happens
Bored.
when you hold the HDMI cord in your mouth?
they say there's no comedy in America, but then I suppose all you had to do watch the
After last
presidential
night,
things
there's
last night.
no
Yeah, there's a
comedy.
lot of comedy. Yeah. Although I think some people who are on it would probably only just about get the joke by now, maybe 24 hours later.
Time zones. It's all about time zones.
But the miking
Found
was
one.
amazing. That's all I
There
gotta
you
say.
go,
is the
found
miking
one.
was amazing.
It's wrong
Attaboy.
one. You need the 1080p. That one's 4K.
Just go away. You are right. It is actually a 4K one. You are right. It is a 4K one. So I've now plugged to the 4. And
now
he's
you're
gone.
frozen. And you frozen.
And-
Your
And he's
your
gone.
system's
To my Mac.
crashed.
And of
Your
course, now
system
my
just
Mac
crashed.
has completely blanked out because it's got too many screens.
Oh,
It's like it's like a movie where it all goes dark and someone's talking in the dark. And
That was
now my
truly
Mac is gone.
fantastic. Oh my
Oh,
lord.
Magoo,
Matt,
you've
can you
done it
still
again.
hear? Can you hear me still?
we can, Leo.
Okay. Okay. All right. I've just unplugged it. Hold on.
Okay.
Do I need to? Can I continue?
Yes.
Yeah, Leo. What I'm noticing
I think
now
my
is that
Mac's about to die.
your video frame rate is now getting better now, but it was bad.
Yeah.
So you might have plugged that into the same. I'll
No.
use PC terms and say bus.
No, it's not. It's just. Hold on.
You might
Too
be
much
getting a
videos
call.
clogged
Your
up your
bandwidth
internet.
is
No, no, it's
reduced.
not. Okay.
This is
No. My Mac is dying. My Mac is dying. My Mac is dying. My Mac is
No,
dying.
Mac, don't go. Walk into the light.
Come in here.
I do have to go.
Yeah, that's
Bye,
it.
guys.
Try
Bye,
rebooting
David.
Snow Leopard.
Bye, David.
David,
What?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. See you later.
Dear. Is it going to work? Right. Right, that's Photoshop turned off. Maybe that will give me about an extra 1 second of horsepower. Right, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to plug it in.
And at the sound of the tone.
It's like a bad magic trick, isn't it? And then
Oh,
there you go. There goes
yeah.
the screen.
There's an aura around you now, Leo. It's
Yeah.
not looking good.
Yeah, it does not like that port. Mm-mm-mm.
Hold on.
Technically, it sounds like to me it's on the same bus. That's what it feels like from the PC world.
No, it's
is
not.
that It would be
It's
like
not.
2 USBs on the same one.
I think that was about 3K
No.
too much for you, Leo.
Give or take a K.
Oh man.
How long are you here for? You're going to say something like
We'll be
you
here
can go
next
all
week.
night.
We'll be here next week. So we'll be here all week.
How long
no,
have you got?
No, we're staying here, Leo. Don't worry about it. We could always go into what we call, right now we're in the kitchen, so we've got to figure out where the equivalent to after
Yeah,
hours.
Well, we've
would be.
just transitioned. Now we're in Zoom test crash.
Yeah. All right. What I'm going to do,
We're the test crash dummies.
I don't know. I don't know. I need to be in one Zoom. I think that me being in 2 Zooms is killing me. No, maybe it's not. Okay. So I need to restart my Mac because it's just dying. Can you give me like 4 minutes, guys, to
Yeah, go
restart
ahead.
my Mac?
Go ahead.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Just
yeah, we
restart.
like you. It's your duplicate that we're not fond of.
Yeah, thank
This
you.
this tiles guy,
Let's see how long it takes.
Mike,
All
I'd
right.
like to buy a tile.
Mike tile.
I'd like to buy a tile. There's 2 francs.
Oh, you would like to? You're coming in too, or no? Oh, 1 franc.
Somebody said that Zoom has disabled Mac reactions in the latest version. I'm just seeing if they're full of
Oh, yeah.
they know,
Yeah.
or if they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, by all means. Leo officially still is logged in via tiles, but not his main account anyway. Oh, spoke too soon. Okay, and Frank's trying all the different thumbs up.
They're wrong. Now let's turn those off so I don't use them by mistake.
Yes, yes. Just like make sure that you don't have the proper, bunny ears and stuff like that on your when you connect. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, we've got a couple of people still watching us on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. They want to see if Leo actually gets tiles working. I know you do. So we'll stay up for a little while longer here.
Hey, Mike, did you hear about Google blocking Entrust certificates starting in the fall?
Entrust. That's an SSL cert
Yeah,
registry, correct?
yeah. I put a
It
link in
would-
the chat.
Right. Yeah, that what did Google to block it?
Yeah, in Chrome.
Google specifically?
Yeah,
Go-
Google.
oh, in
Google
Chrome.
Yeah, which is going to cause lots of problems for lots of people.
Right. Right. So yeah, so let me give a little bit of context what Frank is talking about for everybody on YouTube. So basically, back in the day when the internet started, there was only a handful of companies that were actually allowing companies to actually get SSL certificates, which are now turned into TLS certificates. The older SSL technology has now been discontinued, depreciated, and everybody should be using the latest versions of SSL certificates, which is still, it's like Kleenex. When we talk about tissues, we use Kleenex as a term. So basically, the latest version is now called TLS. And preferably, you need to be at least TLS 1.3, I believe is the number. And I believe there is a 1.4 now, which you could actually go to depending on your SSL provider or the company that is hosting your website to make sure that they have that capability on your website. 1 second, Leo's coming back in, so I'll just let him in. And then we'll continue as Leo comes back in. So Leo, we're just talking about SSL certificates while you're doing stuff. So go right ahead.
Keep talking about SSL certificates while I try my hardest to now destroy two things at once. Go. It's going to take me 2 minutes to do this. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. So again, so what Frank brought to our attention is that Entrust, which is an actual SSL certificate authority that Google has allowed in their browsers, along with all the other browsers on the internet, Google is no longer going to support Entrust. Frank, I'm reading into that correctly, right? The actual certs that Entrust has actually been making.
Yep.
They no longer will be able to authenticate those as legitimate SSL certs, aka TLS certificates.
I think by November.
By November. Okay. Nothing like making sure it's got to be done over the summer. Isn't that fantastic when nobody's around for the majority of summer? So that's nasty. But again, that's Google and it's at their authority. So basically how the browsers work is that from the authority firm, there is, I don't know if it's Aaron or if it's another company that actually oversees all the different companies that are allowed to give out SSL certificates or now TLS version certificates. All right, here comes Leo with tiles. And I'll see the pop-up as soon as you let me know, Leo. And I'll keep watching over there. So if I'm not looking at the camera, that's why, because I'm looking for the pop-up. So basically what Google will do in the next revision in November of the version is they will no longer have in the actual Chrome browser backend the way to decrypt the Entrust certificates. And Leo, I'm approving you now. And so
Okay.
what this will actually mean is that any companies that have gone to Entrust, and that could potentially be thousands, if not, depending on how many certificates they have actually out there. Frank, did that article actually say how many are affected? or not? I haven't pulled that up yet.
I didn't notice how many. I'm sure it's tens and tens of thousands, if not more.
Right, right. Yeah. So Entrust is actually one of the original top 5 companies. So again, as Frank mentioned, that it wouldn't surprise me if there are thousands, if not potentially millions, of websites that might be infected by this. And one that is in the actual example that Frank gave us, and I'll actually put that into YouTube for everybody to see.
Hey, look, I did it.
All right. And it
There you
didn't blow
go.
up, Leo.
Even at
That's impressive.
14K. Josh.
14K. That's a
Yeah,
fantastic
you have to
dongle.
add some numbers for Josh. I've got a duplicate sound, so I'm leaving. I'm leaving on a jet plane. That's it. Okay,
Oh,
that's it. No, that's fine. Can you still hear me now?
yep.
But you can just see me as a thing. That's all right. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, we still see.
I got it working. I got it working. That's all I wanted to know, if I could get it working with I just, that's great, because so if you think about it, you don't need that second monitor. You could just pop that on, and then Ecamm can bring it in, use Ecamm to switch it.
That's what David does.
Yeah, yeah, that's what David does. But again, David was using still a physical monitor. But
Yeah.
in Leo's case,
Yeah, but
you're
he's got
using-
so many monitors. He's just greedy. Anyway, yeah. So you were talking about so are they gone and just disabled that they're not getting the top level SSL certs from somebody? They just
Correct.
taken one of
Yes.
the one of the masters out.
Correct.
Or
Yeah,
whatever. It's
so
not
that-
master. It's got another name. But I've forgotten.
Yeah, so close, Leo. You're so close. I'm trying to remember the actual term as well, but I know what you're
Authority,
Certificate
certificate authority.
Yeah, which Entrust is. So a lot of websites now that are actually not paying for SSL certs, aka TLS certs, now are using Let's Encrypt, and they
Yeah.
offer them for free. Let's Encrypt is not affected by this, but again, you've got to make sure that you are getting your Let's Encrypt SSL, aka TLS certs, updated on a regular basis so that you're running the latest certificate technology.
Okay. I am gonna pop. Thank you, guys. Sorry, I only came in really quickly. I wanted to test something because I've got a live event. I now know that I can do it. As always, Zoom Test Kitchen has proved that it's great. Did David test? I asked him to test to see if Zoom Test Kitchen bounces a meeting up to 1080p.
Bounces?
Right.
Oh,
So
go ahead.
if you've got a 360p meeting, a standard, or 480, I think they are actually. If you join it with a Facebook portal, as you know, it will bounce the meeting up to 720p. Zoom Tiles can request 1080.
Mhm.
So what I don't know is if you have a standard account and you join with a Zoom Tiles and say, I want 1080, does it push the whole meeting to 1080?
You're meaning, okay, so be very important. And again, Ray, if you're around, I would definitely want your advisory on this. But from what you said, it sounds like you're always have to base it on the host account. It's not you logging in.
No, it's not. It's not based on the host account. So if I host, yes and no. Yes and no. When a Facebook portal joins a Zoom meeting, it will change that meeting. It will force the meeting to go into 720p mode. Yeah. You're aware of
Right.
that?
Okay.
Yeah, it was true
Yeah.
all through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Correct. Basically, the minute something requests 720p, the meeting flips to 720p mode. Zoom Tiles has an ability to request 1080p. What I don't know, and I'm just curious, is if I join with Zoom Tiles and say I want 1080p, will it flip the meeting to 1080p, even if it wasn't a 1080p meeting?
If it wasn't a 1080p meeting. 1080, 1080.
Yeah, if you request it, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if
I
that
don't know.
actually
If it
Andy was
does,
here-
if it uh,
Andy was here and told us all about tiles and gave us a demo, and
what today?
And-
No, that was last
no,
week.
No,
a few
2 weeks
couple-
ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he never once mentioned.
Yeah, I know,
that
I
would
know.
happen.
I'm trying to work out if this is a hack that I don't want to tell Andy I can do.
Oh, so what you're telling us is you've been able to go to 1080p.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I
Oh,
have.
okay.
While on my bicycle today and talking to David, I wondered if this was possible.
I don't know the answer.
In our meeting, if you actually,
No, I know this is a 1080p meeting, so there's no point.
Right.
I know. I will try it. I will try it on a standard meeting, and I'll join a standard meeting when I get a chance, and I will see if Zoom Tiles requesting 1080p forces the meeting to go into 1080p mode.
that would definitely be interesting. I don't know, Frank. I'm not remember if we actually tried anything like that, have we?
No.
If
Well,
David
you
was
would, you
here,
would,
he
you wouldn't
could.
know anyway
don't need
because
to.
you're in a 1080p meeting, so you wouldn't know.
Right.
It gets you 4K. No.
Oh yeah, it gets us 4K. No.
You
No.
can't. I think it's maximum.
I know. I was joking.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
maximum that it requests is.
Well, right now Zoom is not even contemplating 4K. Even during the developer summit this week, there was no mention at all about 4K at all. And majority of the time, they still want us to prefer to go 360 if you're using the video SDK, because again, in your sake,
Yeah.
Leo, don't forget your incoming bandwidth and your outgoing bandwidth is still affected by
Yeah.
Zoom
Sure.
ISO either way, right? Or
Right.
in this case, tiles, because it's not tiles is not different than ISO. We get or OSC. OSC is using Zoom meeting, and again, Jonas and Andy, you'll have to help
Yeah.
me on this.
Yeah.
But Zoom OSC, I think, is using the meeting SDK, where ISO and OSC and tiles is using the video SDK.
Yeah.
Which is different, right?
Yeah.
I learned that this week is that you get only so much capabilities within the meeting SDK versus the video SDK, because the video SDK, you actually could get raw audio and video sent down to you. And that's where,
Got it.
depending on, and it's up to the developer what you want to use. If you just need the meeting capabilities, functionality of the video and audio, you're fine. But if you need
Yeah.
to go that extra level and more hardcore specifics out of the video SDK, then you should be using that.
Got it. Right, I'm going to disappear, guys. Thank you for letting me to play around. It's now 10:30 at night. I'm going to bed.
Enjoy.
Take care, Leo.
Thank you. See you all soon. Bye.
Yep.
All
I
right.
guess that's the end of the show.
It
Have a good-
is.
Have a good Canada Day to all our fellow Canadians.
Yeah. And I actually have a slide that I'll throw up as we go. Believe it or not. There we go.
Yeah, nice slide.
You like that, Frank? There you go.
Yeah, very
So
nice.
to all our Canadians out there that are part of the Zoom Test Kitchen, have a great
We've co-opted
Canada
the
Day.
kitchen.
And next week we'll be wishing our American friends happy 4th of July, because we'll be back on the 5th.
Oh, okay.
Same time, same station here on YouTube.